Good evening and welcome back to the Reading Room. I'm Josh Bearheart Hawk, author of the journal, Legends and Tales, Creepy and Fun Stories to Tell Around the Campfire, and GPS Signal Lost. And today you might notice that we're in a different location than the normal reading room. And that is because I'm going to be reading stories from my Legends and Tales book over the next few nights. Now, there's a lot of stuff going into this, and I don't know exactly how many I'm going to have going forward, but at least between now and Halloween, you can rest assured every day we're going to have a video, and there are going to be different stories coming out of here. Now, the reason that I'm here at Moonville Tunnel. Moonville Tunnel is a small, little, supposedly haunted place near McArthur, Ohio. It's in southern Ohio in the Zaleski State Forest, and it's supposedly haunted by a bunch of different ghosts. People like to come down here to ghost hunt and do a bunch of different things, and I can't be guaranteed that there won't be any people or ghosts out here tonight, so keep an eye out on the background. You might see people walk by from time to time. Let me know in the comments if I miss anything, if anybody walks back there. But I do want to get started, so the idea here is I'm going to read through the stories. I'm going to do one per video. And we're going to start out, because we're in the Zaleski State Forest, I thought it would be appropriate to start with a story called The Lair. And this is a story that follows a park ranger. Girl goes missing. Park ranger goes out to look for the girl. And then this is we'll get there. So sit back, relax, turn off the lights, and let's get started with The Lair. June 23rd, 2014, 2:33 p.m. Statement of Park Ranger Lance Billings. Location of incident redacted. The call came in at exactly 4:33 p.m. A missing child at campsite B11. All available personnel were asked to assist in the search. My partner Jason and I were among the first to arrive and were greeted by a frantic father who was begging us to help find his daughter. The mother was in a near catatonic state, and there were two other children sitting in the tent. Other units began to arrive, including search and rescue, to coordinate ground units. We were split into small groups of 4 and given areas to search within a 2-mile radius. The furthest distance it was assumed the girl would be able to make it in the given time since her disappearance. We were provided with a description of the girl, being that she was 4 years old, with blonde curls and brown eyes. She was approximately 36 inches tall and was last seen wearing a red dress with yellow flowers on it. She would answer to the name Lucy and was known to be timid around strangers. My group consisted of myself, Ranger Lance Billings, my partner, Ranger Jason Sky, and 2 civilian volunteers whose names I don't remember. We set off for a search area at approximately 6:45 p.m. with flashlights, flares, and rope and standard issued gear. Our search area was approximately 1 square mile of heavily forested land with uneven terrain and a cliff on the eastern edge. We covered this area in pairs, calling out for the girl and checking in every possible hiding place we could find. As night closed in, we returned to base camp with nothing to report. Myself and Ranger Sky were given a new search area and made our way to the zone to begin looking for any sign of the girl. Given the small area, we decided to split up and search on our own, keeping in touch via our 2-way radios every 10 minutes. As I made my way along the western edge of the search area, I began to feel as if something was very wrong. I don't know how to explain it, except to say that the hair on my arms and neck was standing up, and I was fairly certain I was being watched. I was calmly calling out to Lucy, and on a couple of occasions I thought I heard some movement not far from where I was. I radioed Ranger Sky to check in, and he reported he was also hearing sounds near his position, but he had not been able to locate the source either. Coming over the crest of the small hill, I noticed what looked like some kind of den about 30 yards in front of me at the bottom of a slope. Shining my light around the area, I called out to Lucy again and was met with silence at first. After about 15 seconds, I started walking toward the den, but stopped and ducked behind a bush when I saw something coming out of it. At first, I thought there was a large bear, though we normally don't have bears in this park. I kept my light on the animal as it slowly crept out, though it didn't seem to notice or acknowledge my presence. As more of it came into view, I could see it had a thick coat of dark brown fur. It walked on 4 legs, and it had a tail that looked like it was at least a meter long and covered in some kind of barbs. It was at this point that I got a good look at its face as it turned toward me. The eyes appeared to be solid white, and the snout was similar to something I have seen on dolphins. Large teeth protruded from both the bottom and top jaws, interlocking and giving it the appearance of some kind of claw. As I watched, it stood up on its hind legs, revealing the front paws to be more human-like than I expected. Its belly and chest were also like that of a man, with no hair at all. It looked like it was going to come my way when a noise to its left caught its attention, and it bolted off into the forest. Before I could react to this, the sound of crying caught my ear, and I remembered why I was out there. I could tell the sound was coming from the den, and I made my way over as quickly and quietly as I could. As I approached the hole, the smell of something rotting overwhelmed me, and I nearly had to turn around. Looking inside, I could see what appeared to be a large number of bones and animal remains covering the ground. As I shined my light around, I saw a small mound in the back that was moving, and I realized I had found Lucy. I crept into the den, telling the girl who I was and letting her know that she would be okay. It took a few minutes to gain her trust, but I was able to bring her safely out, and we made our way back to the base of operations with no further encounters with the animal. I tried to reach Ranger Sky over the radio multiple times as I made my way back, but he failed to respond. I could not take time to search for him at that moment, as my priority was to get Lucy back to her family. Upon returning to the base, I was informed we had lost communication with 3 members of the search party in addition to Ranger Sky. I relayed what I had seen and gave the coordinates of the den, but the decision was made to refrain from further searches until daylight. The search and rescue commander made a call to his commander, and we were informed that a new unit would be arriving at daybreak to begin searching for the missing rescuers. At approximately 7 a.m., 3 large black armored personnel carriers arrived, and 30 heavily armed soldiers dismounted. A commander from this unit debriefed me once more about what I saw and where I saw it, and I watched the men head off in the direction of the den. After about 2 hours, the men returned carrying the body of Ranger Sky on a stretcher. They loaded him on one of their vehicles and reported that we would all need to evacuate due to a growing fire in the area. I inquired about the status of Ranger Sky and was told he was in need of immediate medical assistance. I was not allowed to see him and was escorted back to my post to collect my personal belongings before being taken home. The reported fire wiped out several hundred acres before being extinguished, and I was later informed that the fire had been started by Ranger Sky as he tried to stay warm overnight following an injury that immobilized him. I was unable to ask Ranger Sky about this, as he supposedly perished from his injuries in a medical facility on the nearby military installation. I have spoken to several people who were involved in the search, and none of them seem to remember losing any rescuer other than Ranger Sky. Lucy's parents have publicly stated their daughter was hiding in the roots of a tree and was found with no incident. They refused to even speak to me. I've been told that my position in the Forest Service is no longer needed, and none of my old coworkers will even acknowledge that I worked there. I'm not sure what is going on, but I know what I saw. There's something out there, and I'm going to prove it if it's the last thing I do. Final evaluation. Lance Billings is a threat to security and must be redlined. Permission to follow up granted. So that's the end of that one, as it's getting darker behind me. So I'm going to be covering some more of these over the next few days. You're going to see videos coming out, so make sure that you're subscribed. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the story. And, make sure you like the video so that way it goes out to more and more people on YouTube. But I want to thank you all for watching. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.